What if the ordinary 2000 Lincoln penny sitting in your pocket right now is worth $1 million? That claim has exploded across the internet, but before you start digging through every jar, there is something you absolutely need to know. A 2000 penny with no mint mark is not automatically a $1 million coin. In fact, most are worth exactly 1 cent. But that does not mean every 2000 penny should be ignored. Some unusual coins, especially genuine mint errors and exceptionally high-grade examples, can be worth far more than face value. And today, we are going to uncover exactly what to look for, what mistakes could matter, and why one tiny detail can completely change the story. The 2000 Lincoln cent was made for everyday commerce. On the front is Abraham Lincoln, and on the reverse is the Lincoln Memorial design used before the 2009 redesign. If your coin has no mint mark beneath the date, that generally means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. That is normal. It is not by itself an error. And here is where the mystery begins. Many online videos use phrases like no mint mark, rare 2000 penny, and $1 million coin together, creating the impression that every penny without a mint mark is secretly valuable. But experienced collectors know that a missing mint mark and a legitimate mint error are two very different things. So, if you have a 2000 penny without a mint mark, do not spend it yet. But do not assume you have a fortune either. First, look at the date. Make sure it really says 2000. Then look directly underneath the date. If there is no letter there, you probably have a Philadelphia issue. Millions upon millions of cents were produced without a mint mark in Philadelphia during this era. That means ordinary examples are common. Now comes the important part. Turn the coin over. Look closely at the Lincoln Memorial. Check the columns, the steps, the lettering, the rim, and the entire surface. You are searching for something that does not look like normal wear. A strange doubling, an unusual strike, a dramatic off-center design, a clipped planchet, a major die problem, or another authenticated mint error could make the coin much more interesting. But there is a trap here. Damage can look exciting under bright light. A coin that has been squeezed, scratched, flattened, chemically altered, or struck outside the mint can develop strange shapes that have nothing to do with a valuable mint error. Collectors pay for mistakes created during manufacturing, not damage created afterward. That distinction can save you from wasting time and money. Now examine Lincoln's portrait. Look at the lettering around him. On a genuine double die, important design elements can show clear, intentional separation or doubling. Random shadows, scratches, and blurry edges are not enough. If you see something unusual, compare it with reliable photographs of known varieties and, when serious money is involved, consider professional authentication. Here is another pattern interrupt. Condition matters. Two coins with the exact same date can have dramatically different values. A heavily circulated 2000 penny may show fingerprints, scratches, discoloration, and worn details. A pristine example can look almost untouched. Coins with exceptional surfaces, strong original color, sharp details, and high certified grades can attract collectors. But even a beautiful coin is not automatically worth $1 million. The $1 million number needs special attention because it is one of the biggest misconceptions surrounding modern Lincoln cents. A normal 2000 no mint mark penny is not a $1 million coin. There is no credible basis for telling viewers that simply finding 2000 with no mint mark means they have discovered a 7-figure treasure. If someone gives you that claim without a documented auction record, professional certification, and a specific error or variety, be skeptical. That does not make your search pointless. Actually, it makes it more interesting. Imagine finding a 2000 cent that looks normal at first glance, but under magnification, you notice something unusual. The lettering appears doubled. The design is dramatically off-center. The edge looks wrong. Part of the design may be missing. Suddenly, you are no longer looking at an ordinary cent. You are looking at a coin that may deserve expert attention. And this is exactly why coin hunting is so addictive. The value is not always sitting in the date. Sometimes the real clue is hidden in the strike. So grab a flashlight or use a bright desk lamp. Put the penny on a flat surface. Do not clean it. This is extremely important. Never polish, scrub, scrape, or soak a potentially valuable coin. Cleaning can permanently damage the original surface and reduce collector appeal. Instead, inspect it exactly as you found it. Check the rim first. Is it unusually thin in one area? Does the design appear shifted toward the edge? Is part of the coin missing? Next, inspect the lettering. Are there unusual raised shapes that repeat consistently? Then check the reverse. Look at the memorial, the steps, the lettering, and the rim. Now compare both sides. A genuine mint error usually tells a logical story. The abnormality should fit something that could have happened during planchet preparation, die production, or striking. Random damage usually looks chaotic and inconsistent. And there is another detail many beginners miss: color. A 2000 Lincoln cent may appear bright red, reddish brown, or brown depending on its condition and exposure. Original red color can be desirable in high-grade copper-plated cents, but color alone does not transform an ordinary penny into a fortune. Be careful with exaggerated claims based only on appearance. So, what could your 2000 penny actually be worth? For a normal circulated example with no special error or variety, think face value, with modest premiums possible for unusually nice collectible pieces. Certified high-grade examples can command more, but the market depends heavily on grade, color, population, demand, and the exact variety. A confirmed major mint error can be worth substantially more. But there is no single price that applies to every unusual-looking coin. The exact error, severity, authenticity, condition, and market demand all matter. And that brings us to the moment everyone has been waiting for. Is your 2000 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1 million? If it is simply a normal Philadelphia cent, no. If someone online tells you otherwise, ask one question. Where is the documented sale? Real numismatic records matter. Auction results, certification numbers, recognized grading services, and detailed descriptions give you evidence. A dramatic thumbnail or social media caption does not. Still, there is a reason you should keep looking. Everyday coins occasionally survive in unusual conditions. Mint errors can escape into circulation. Rare varieties can be overlooked. And a coin that looks ordinary to one person can become fascinating to a specialist after one tiny detail is discovered. That is the real hidden money lesson. Do not hunt for a magical date. Hunt for evidence. So tonight, go find your 2000 Lincoln cents. Separate the no-mint mark examples. Use a magnifying glass. Check the date, rim, lettering, portrait, and reverse. Compare anything unusual with trusted references. And if something looks truly strange, do not clean it and do not sell it to the first person who offers you cash. Get a second opinion. Now I want to know something. Do you have a 2000 Lincoln penny with no mint mark? And does yours show anything unusual, like doubling, an off-center strike, a strange rim, or an unexpected mark? Tell me what you see in the comments. Because the most exciting coin stories do not always begin with a rare date. Sometimes they begin with a penny everyone else ignored. And remember, the goal is not to believe every $1 million claim. The goal is to learn how to recognize the real clues that can separate an ordinary coin from a legitimate collectible. Before you put that penny away, remember one final rule. Never let excitement replace verification. Take clear photos of both sides, the edge, and any suspicious area. Record the coin's weight if you have a precise digital scale, because genuine errors can sometimes produce measurable differences. Compare your findings with established coin references and reputable auction archives. If the evidence looks promising, professional grading can help determine whether the coin is authentic and how unusual it really is. That step may cost money, but it can also prevent a valuable discovery from being dismissed as damage, or a damaged coin from being mistaken for a rare error. Knowledge is what turns searching into smart collecting. And that is the difference. So check that jar. Check that drawer. Check the old change sitting in your car. You might not find $1 million penny, but you could find something worth a lot more than 1 cent. And that possibility is exactly why collectors keep looking. Subscribe for more hidden coin mysteries, surprising varieties, and real-world U.S. coin values. The next overlooked coin in your pocket could have a story you never expected. That 2001 Lincoln penny in your drawer may look completely ordinary, but there is one detail that has fooled thousands of people. No mint mark. Some online claims say a 2001 penny without a mint mark could be worth $1 million. But before you start celebrating, there is a twist you absolutely need to know, because the truth is more interesting than the headline. If you have a 2001 Lincoln cent, grab it now. Look directly beneath the date. Do you see a tiny letter? If you see nothing, don't put the coin back yet. In this video, we're going to uncover what that missing letter really means, which 2001 pennies can bring serious collector money, what mistakes can create genuine value, and why one spectacular 2001 error is worth far more than an ordinary penny. First, let's clear up the biggest mystery. A 2001 Lincoln cent with no mint mark is not automatically a rare error. In fact, that is exactly what you should expect from a normal 2001 penny made at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia traditionally did not place a mint mark on regular Lincoln cents, so millions of perfectly legitimate 2001 pennies left the mint without a letter beneath the date. And here's the number that changes everything. Philadelphia struck about 4.96 billion Lincoln cents in 2001. That's billion with a B. So if your 2001 penny has no mint mark, you have not necessarily discovered a mistake. You have most likely found a normal Philadelphia cent. But wait, because this is where the story gets interesting. The same date can appear on coins with dramatically different values depending on condition, variety, and errors. A worn 2001 penny pulled from pocket change is generally worth 1 cent. An attractive, uncirculated example can be worth more. And an exceptionally high-grade coin can bring hundreds of dollars or more. Think about that for a second. The coin could be sitting in the same jar as thousands of other pennies, yet its condition can completely change the collector's interest. That's why serious collectors don't just ask, "What year is it?" They ask, "How is it made? How well did it survive? And is there something unusual about it?" Now turn your coin over. Look closely at the reverse, especially the lettering around the Lincoln Memorial. Then inspect the front again. You are searching for something that looks genuinely different, not something that simply looks worn, scratched, dirty, or shiny. This distinction matters because the internet is filled with photographs of ordinary coins being advertised as rare errors. A damaged coin is not automatically a mint error. Someone scratching the surface, polishing the coin, or altering a letter after it left the mint does not create a valuable error. True errors happen during manufacturing, and collectors look for evidence that the unusual feature was created by the minting process. So what should you actually watch for? Start with dramatic off-center strikes. If the design is noticeably shifted toward the edge, leaving an obvious blank area, that can be a legitimate mint error. The more dramatic and authentic the error, the more collector interest it may attract. Next, inspect the coin for strong doubling. But be careful. Many people mistake machine doubling, die deterioration, or simple damage for a valuable double die. Genuine varieties require specific diagnostics. If the doubling looks flat, shelf-like, or scraped, don't assume you've hit the jackpot. And now we reach the part of the 2001 story that makes collectors sit up. There is a famous 2001 Lincoln cent mule error. A mule occurs when dies intended for different coins are accidentally paired together. In this extraordinary case, a Lincoln cent obverse was paired with a Roosevelt dime reverse. Imagine flipping over a penny and seeing the torch, olive branch, and oak branch design normally found on a Roosevelt dime. That is not a normal penny. That is a completely different category of rarity. And this is why you should never judge a coin only by its date or missing mint mark. The valuable 2001 mule is associated with the Denver Mint and carries a D mint mark. Your ordinary 2001 Philadelphia cent without a mint mark is a different coin entirely. So where does the $1 million claim come from? Usually, it comes from confusion between an ordinary no mint mark 2001 penny and extraordinary error coins, combined with sensational online price claims. There is no credible basis for saying that every 2001 no mint mark Lincoln cent is worth $1 million. In fact, the normal coin can be worth just 1 cent in circulated condition. But here's the surprising part. That doesn't mean you should ignore your 2001 pennies. High-grade examples can attract collectors, and documented mint errors can be valuable. A top-quality 2001 Philadelphia cent has sold for hundreds of dollars in the right grade, while rare 2001 error coins have reached vastly higher prices. The difference is not a magical missing mint mark. The difference is rarity, authentication, condition, and demand. Now imagine 2 identical-looking pennies on a kitchen table. One has been carried in pockets, exposed to moisture, rubbed against other coins, and handled for years. The other has sharp details, brilliant original red color, and almost no visible marks. To an untrained eye, both say 2001. To a grading expert, they can be worlds apart. That is why you should never clean a potentially valuable coin. It sounds harmless. Maybe you think a little polish will make Lincoln shine. Don't do it. Cleaning can remove the original surface and leave hairlines that permanently reduce collector appeal. A naturally bright red coin with original surfaces can be far more desirable than a shiny coin that has been scrubbed. Here's another quick test. Use good lighting and a magnifier. Don't scrape the coin. Don't bend it. Don't try to remove discoloration. Simply inspect it. Check the date. Check the area beneath the date. Check Lincoln's portrait. Study the lettering. Flip it over and examine the memorial and surrounding letters. Then look for an obvious, unusual manufacturing feature. If something truly strange appears, take photographs before doing anything else. And if the coin looks exceptional, consider professional authentication and grading. That's especially important when a claimed error could be worth serious money. A genuine mint error is much easier to sell confidently when an established third-party grading service has examined it. Now let's return to the million-dollar question. Is your 2001 Lincoln penny with no mint mark worth $1 million? For an ordinary Philadelphia 2001 cent? No. The missing mint mark is normal, not a million-dollar error. Most circulated examples remain worth face value. But could a 2001 penny be genuinely valuable? Absolutely. That's the lesson hidden inside this date. The real treasure hunt is not about believing every dramatic headline. It's about knowing what makes a coin unusual. A rare mule, a major off-center strike, a legitimate double die, an extraordinary minting mistake, or an exceptional certified grade can transform a common-looking cent into a collector's prize. And here's your challenge. Go find every 2001 penny you have. Check the ones in jars, old envelopes, coin rolls, drawers, and collections. Separate the no-mint mark Philadelphia cents from the D-mint coins. Then inspect both sides under strong light. If yours is worn and ordinary, don't be disappointed. You just learned something that can save you from buying into a false million-dollar claim. But if yours has a dramatic error, unusual design combination, or extraordinary condition, that's when the story changes. Because the biggest mistake you can make with a potentially valuable coin is assuming it's worthless before you actually look closely. And remember this, rarity cannot be created by a headline. Value comes from what the coin really is, how rare that feature is, how well the coin survived, and what collectors are willing to pay. One warning. Never confuse a seller's asking price with an auction result. Anyone can list a penny online for $1 million. That does not mean anyone has paid $1 million for it. Real coin values come from documented sales, recognized grading, and collector demand. This is especially important with modern pennies, because sensational listings can make ordinary coins look extraordinary. So keep your eyes open, but keep your skepticism open too. Smart collectors do both. They get excited by possibilities, then verify the evidence before believing the price tag. That habit can turn a coin hunt into a rewarding hobby. So, before you spend that 2001 penny, check it one more time. Look beneath Lincoln's date, then flip it over. You might find nothing unusual, or you might find the clue that makes your ordinary-looking penny worth far more than 1 cent. If you found a 2001 penny with something strange on it, tell me what you see in the comments. And if you enjoy uncovering the hidden stories and real values behind American coins, subscribe for more coin discoveries, rare mint errors, and overlooked treasures hiding in plain sight. Stop scrolling for a second, because that 2004 Lincoln penny with no mint mark may look ordinary. But there is one important fact you need to know before anyone tells you it is worth $1 million. The truth is more interesting than the rumor, and it could save you from throwing away a coin worth a closer look. If you have a 2004 Lincoln cent, grab it now. We are going to examine what the missing mint mark actually means, which errors can make a modern penny collectible, what condition does to the price, and why $1 million claims should make you investigate instead of reaching for your wallet. Here is where the mystery begins. Turn a 2004 penny over to the date side. Under Abraham Lincoln's portrait, look near the date. Do you see a tiny letter? If you see a P, that identifies a Philadelphia minted coin. If you see a D, it came from Denver. But if you see nothing, do not panic, and definitely do not assume you have found $1 million error. For 2004 cents, a missing mint mark is normally exactly what it is supposed to be. Philadelphia cents were struck without a mint mark. That means thousands upon thousands of genuine 2004 Lincoln cents have no mint letter at all. In other words, the blank space under the date is not, by itself, a rare mistake. And this is the first trap collectors encounter. The internet is full of photographs, auction screenshots, and dramatic claims that turn a normal coin into a supposed treasure. Sometimes a high price belongs to an entirely different coin. A listing price is not a confirmed sale. So where does that leave your 2004 no mint mark penny? It leaves you with a coin worth examining carefully. Start with the date. Make sure it really says 2004. Altered coins, damaged surfaces, and blurry photographs can create confusion. Next, inspect the area where the mint mark would appear. A true Philadelphia 2004 cent should not have a mint letter there. Now comes the part that can separate an ordinary coin from something genuinely interesting. Look at the entire surface under bright, angled light. Do not rely on your phone's automatic camera alone. Rotate the coin slowly. Watch Lincoln's hair, the lettering, the date, and the rim. You are looking for something that does not belong. Could the coin show a double design? Could a letter appear unusually thick or shifted? Could the date have an unusual shape? Could the rim be incomplete, distorted, or unusually broad? Could there be a dramatic strike error? Those are the kinds of characteristics collectors investigate. But there is another detail many people overlook. Damage. A coin that has been scraped, squeezed, polished, heated, chemically treated, or struck outside the mint can look spectacular. Can also look rare. But damage created after the coin left the mint is generally not considered a valuable mint error. Think about it this way. A genuine mint error is a mistake made during production. Damage is a change that happened later. That distinction can mean the difference between an interesting collectible and a coin worth only its face value. Now let's talk about condition. Most 2004 pennies have spent years moving through pockets, cash registers, jars, drawers, and coin machines. Copper-plated zinc cents can pick up scratches, spots, discoloration, and corrosion. A sharply preserved example is much more appealing to collectors than a heavily worn coin. Here is another surprise. Older does not automatically mean rarer. A 2004 penny is over 2 decades old. But age alone does not create enormous value. Collectors care about scarcity, condition, varieties, errors, demand, and authentication. A coin can be old and common, while a newer coin can be genuinely rare. That is why collectors study production history, surviving populations, condition, and verified auction records before assigning serious value to a coin. So what about the $1 million claim? This is where you should be especially careful. There is no solid basis for saying that an ordinary 2004 Philadelphia Lincoln cent with no mint mark is a $1 million coin simply because it lacks a mint mark. If someone tells you that every 2000 for no mint mark penny is worth $1 million, that is a major red flag. But that does not mean you should stop looking. Imagine finding a 2004 cent with an unusual feature that survives close inspection. Maybe the strike is dramatically wrong. Maybe the coin has a legitimate doubled feature. Maybe it has a rare die variety that specialists recognize. Suddenly, the conversation changes. The value would depend on exactly what the feature is, how dramatic it is, whether experts agree that it is genuine, and how well the coin is preserved. And this is the moment where many people make their biggest mistake. They see a strange-looking coin and immediately search for the highest number they can find online. Don't do that. Instead, identify the coin first. Then identify the supposed error. Then compare it with reliable references and, when the stakes are high, have the coin examined by a reputable numismatist or professional grading service. Because a photograph can fool you. A reflection can make lettering look doubled. A scratch can resemble a die crack. A damaged rim can look like a striking error. Even experienced collectors sometimes need magnification, reference material, and expert opinions. Now, take another look at your 2004 penny. Check Lincoln's portrait. Check the date. Check the letters. Check the rim. Then flip it over. On the reverse, inspect 1 cent United States of America, the wreath, and the lettering around the edge. Look for major abnormalities rather than tiny marks that could simply be damage. And please remember something important. Never clean the coin before having it evaluated. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce collector appeal. A coin that looks dirty may be worth more untouched than polished. This is one of the easiest ways to accidentally destroy the very evidence that could help identify a collectible piece. Now let's imagine two 2004 no-mint mark pennies sitting side by side. The first is worn, scratched, and completely normal. It is a common Philadelphia cent. The second has an authenticated mint-made error or a recognized scarce variety and remains in exceptional condition. They may share the same date, but they are completely different collectibles. That is the real hidden value lesson. The money is not hiding in the missing mint mark itself. The money, when it exists, is hiding in the details. And that is why you should never judge a coin from the date alone. There is also a psychological trap here called confirmation bias. Once someone hears that a certain penny is worth $1 million, every unusual mark starts looking like proof. The collector stops asking, "What is this?" and starts asking, "How do I prove this is valuable?" Reverse that process. Ask, "What exactly am I seeing?" Then ask, "Could this have happened at the mint?" Then ask, "Can a trusted source confirm it?" Those three questions can protect you from hype and help you recognize a real opportunity. And now for the value reveal. If your 2004 Lincoln cent has no mint mark and otherwise appears normal, do not expect $1 million. In circulated condition, it is generally a common modern cent, often worth around face value. Exceptional uncirculated examples can bring more, and legitimate varieties or dramatic mint errors can bring substantially more, but those are special cases, not the rule. So if you have one in your hand right now, congratulations on checking it, but do not let a viral price claim decide what your coin is worth. Instead, look for the evidence. That evidence could be a distinctive doubled feature, a major striking mistake, an authenticated variety, or extraordinary preservation. If you believe you have found something unusual, photograph both sides clearly, avoid cleaning it, and seek a qualified opinion before selling it. And here is your challenge. Go through your penny jar, old change, desk drawer, or collection. Find every 2004 Lincoln cent you can. Separate the no-mint mark examples. Compare their condition. Inspect the date, lettering, portrait, rim, and reverse. Then look for genuine mint-made abnormalities. You might not find $1 million penny, but you might find something you never noticed before. And that is exactly why coin collecting remains so fascinating. Millions of ordinary coins can pass through American hands, while a tiny number contain unusual features that make collectors stop and look twice. So tell me this, do you have a 2004 Lincoln penny with no mint mark sitting in your collection right now? And does it show anything unusual? Leave your answer in the comments because one unusual detail could start a much bigger conversation. And remember, the next valuable coin may not look valuable at all. Could be hiding in a jar, waiting for someone curious enough to check. Subscribe for more rare coin mysteries, real-world value clues, and the hidden details you should always inspect before spending that old change. What if a 1-cent coin sitting in your drawer right now could be hiding a secret worth far more than its face value? And what if the letter D beneath the date is the first clue? Before you spend another 2006 D Lincoln penny, look closely, because the details can separate a common coin from a collector's prize. The coin we're hunting today is the 2006 Lincoln cent struck at the Denver Mint. Millions were made, so simply finding a 2006 D penny does not make you rich. But that is exactly what makes this story interesting. The real question is not, do I have a 2006 D? It is, does my 2006 D have something unusual that collectors actually want? And there is one variety that makes this date especially worth a closer look. The 2006 D double die obverse. It is a genuine die variety, and specialists have identified examples with doubling around the date, liberty, and parts of Lincoln's portrait. That means the hunt is not about polishing a penny until it shines. It is about finding evidence that the coin was struck from a particular die. Now pause for a second and grab a 2006 penny if you have one. Start with the date. Use a bright light and, if possible, a magnifying glass. Do not judge the coin from a blurry phone photograph. Look at the numbers individually. On a double die, the extra image can appear as a real separation or spread in the design. Damage, scratches, machine doubling, and flattening can create confusing shapes that look dramatic but mean little to collectors. Here's the first mistake people make. They see a strange-looking date and immediately call it an error. Don't. A valuable double die is created in the die-making process. Ordinary damage happens later, after the coin leaves the mint. That difference can be worth the difference between pocket change and serious collector interest. Now move your attention to Liberty. Look carefully at the letters, especially areas where thickness, notching, or separation might appear. Then examine Lincoln's ear, beard, and the date again. You're looking for a consistent raised secondary image, not a random gouge. The more clearly the doubling matches known diagnostic markers, the more interesting the coin becomes. And here's where the story gets even better. The 2006 D Lincoln cent also exists in special mint set finishes, including satin finish examples. Those coins were made for collectors and can look noticeably different from ordinary circulation cents. So before assuming your coin is a rare error, identify what kind of 2006 D cent you're actually holding. Now let's talk about condition, because this is where many coin hunters underestimate the game. A penny that has spent years rattling around in a pocket has probably picked up scratches, spots, fingerprints, and tiny hits. A coin that was protected soon after leaving the mint can preserve sharp details and attractive red color. Professional grading can make an enormous difference in how collectors evaluate a modern coin. But do not clean it. This is one of the most important rules in coin collecting. Scrubbing, rubbing, dipping, or using household chemicals can permanently damage the original surface. A coin that might have deserved attention can become much less desirable after cleaning. If you think you've found something important, protect it in a holder and let a qualified expert examine it. Now comes the question you've been waiting for. Could a 2006 D Lincoln penny really be worth $1 million? Here's the truth. There is no established evidence that an ordinary 2006 D Lincoln cent is $1 million coin. A sensational online claim is not the same thing as a documented auction record. The normal 2006 D cent is generally a common modern coin, and even recognized varieties are nowhere near automatically worth 7 figures. But don't click away yet, because this is exactly where smart collectors separate themselves from people chasing internet rumors. The value of a rare coin comes from a combination of rarity, authenticity, condition, demand, and documented sales. A dramatic price tag attached to a photograph does not prove anything. A coin needs a real market, qualified attribution, and, for exceptional pieces, credible auction evidence. So where can the 2006 D become genuinely interesting? Start with the recognized double die variety. Specialists have documented a 2006 D double die obverse, and current numismatic references describe identifiable doubling around areas including the date, Liberty, and Lincoln's features. Depending on condition and attribution, examples can move from ordinary change into meaningful collector territory. The highest grade pieces are the ones that deserve especially careful attention. That creates a powerful treasure hunt question. What if your coin has the right date, the right mint mark, the right doubling, and unusually strong preservation? Suddenly, you're not looking at just 1 cent. You're looking at a candidate that may deserve professional attribution. And that is the real hidden value story. Imagine someone cleaning out an old jar of coins. They see hundreds of pennies and almost toss them all into a bank counter. Then one 2006 D catches the light. The date looks slightly unusual. Liberty seems thicker. Lincoln's ear has a strange extra contour. Instead of spending it, they set it aside. That tiny decision changes everything. Maybe it turns out to be nothing. That happens constantly. But maybe the coin matches a recognized variety. The next step is not celebrating with $1 million fantasy. The next step is verification. Take clear photographs of both sides. Photograph the date and Liberty at high magnification. Compare the details against reputable variety references. Then, if the evidence is strong, consider submitting the coin to a major grading and authentication service. And remember something crucial: condition matters. A rare variety in worn condition can be interesting. The same variety in blazing red, nearly flawless mint state condition can attract much more attention. Collectors often compete hardest for coins that combine rarity with exceptional preservation. There is another trap you should avoid. Do not confuse machine doubling with a true double die. Machine doubling can make parts of letters or numbers look flat, shelf-like, or strangely shifted. It may appear impressive under magnification, but it usually does not carry the same premium as a recognized double die variety. The distinction can be subtle, which is why comparison with known diagnostics matters. Now check the mint mark. That small D tells you the coin was struck at Denver. But the D itself does not make the coin rare. Millions of coins can share the same mint mark. What matters is what happened to the die, the planchet, or the strike. Think of the mint mark as the address, not the treasure. The treasure is the unusual feature. And if you're checking a pile of pennies, don't stop at one coin. Sort your 2006 cents by mint mark. Pull out the D examples. Inspect the date, Liberty, Lincoln's portrait, and overall surfaces. Keep promising coins separate instead of throwing everything back into a jar. You may be wondering about that $1 million number again. Why do claims like that spread? Because enormous prices create clicks. A headline saying ordinary penny worth 1 cent gets ignored. A headline promising a fortune gets attention. But serious collectors know that value must be supported by evidence. So if someone tells you that every 2060 penny is worth $1 million, be skeptical. If someone tells you that a specific 2060 has a recognized variety, strong condition, and documented sales supporting a premium, now you have something worth investigating. That's the difference between hype and numismatics. And here's the final test. Look at your 2006 penny under magnification. Check the date. Check Liberty. Check Lincoln's ear and beard. Compare any suspected doubling with trusted references. Examine the surface for damage. And never clean the coin just to make it look better. If everything lines up, don't spend it. Put it somewhere safe. Then get another opinion. Because sometimes the most valuable thing about a coin isn't the number printed in a viral headline. It's the discovery that makes you stop, look closer, and realize you almost spent something you should have investigated. So, do you have a 2006 Lincoln cent? And does yours show anything unusual around the date or Liberty? Take a close look before you decide it's just another penny. You might not have $1 million coin, and realistically you should not assume that you do, but you could have a collectible variety hiding in plain sight. That's what makes coin hunting so addictive. The next rare discovery might not be sitting behind museum glass. It might be in your pocket. It might be in an old coffee can. It might be in a forgotten jar of change. And it could be waiting for the one person who takes 5 extra seconds to look. If you enjoy uncovering the stories behind ordinary American coins, keep checking those pennies, keep learning the diagnostics, and stay curious. Subscribe for more hidden value coin discoveries, because the next coin you almost spend could be the one you wish you had stopped to examine.